Okay, so as a day trader, I was always told never, I mean never, trade the open of the New York session. Never trade the first 15 minutes or the first 30 minutes of the New York session because it's crazy. The market is crazy. It's moving fast. And if you're not a professional trader, you will lose. See that word right there? If you're not a professional trader, don't trade the open. Well, the ultimate question is, how do you get to that level? How do you get to that level of being a professional trader, right? Look, we all know that the strategy is 20% and psychology is 80% of being a day trader. We know this, right? I mean, look, the strategy is nothing but 20%. The whole market is based around courage and psychology. So the ultimate question is, how do you overcome the psychology? Because what if you have a strategy, right? And the only thing you need it to do is overcome the psychology part, to trade the open. Listen, I've been actually trading the open session for the past few months. I've overcome my fear. I've overcome everything. I've gained courage to trade the New York session open. And so in this video, I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to tell you how I gained the courage, and I'm going to tell you the strategy that I use to trade the New York session, the open. I'm talking about the 8:30 Central Time open of the New York session. That's right. So let's talk about it. First, before you even attempt to trade the open, you need courage. That's right, you need courage. Listen, the market will move fast. And if you trade it, you must have total coverage, right? Trading the open of the New York session. Listen, it's not a 100% win rate. No strategy is a 100% win rate. Yes, you will lose some trades trading the opening session, right? Because nothing is 100%. We know this already, right? So look, if you want to trade the opening session, one thing that you have to learn is courage. You have to grow a pair. You definitely have to grow a pair. Now, look, I trade the NASDAQ only. Nothing else, nothing more, right? I only trade the NQ session every day. Look, my goal is to master one asset. And if you guys been following me, been following my channel, I've always talked about that I only trade the NASDAQ. That's it. So let's go to talk a little more about how I overcome my fears and I gain courage in the strategy that I use. So my strategy goes as follows. And listen, before I even talk about my strategy, it's not even my strategy. I just want to give a lot of credit of this strategy that I'm about to tell you guys to a YouTuber, a well-known day trader, a well-known trader, period, Oliver Velez, right? His teaching and his coaching gave me the courage to trade the open. So I do want to give him a lot of credit for this strategy, because I actually took his strategy and I use his strategy. And you know what? His method works. His method works. So let's talk about it. So the opening trade goes as follows, right? I have a 2-minute chart. I have 3 indicators on my chart. I have a 20 simple moving average, and I have a 200 simple moving average, and I have a 9 EMA on my chart. So that's the 3 indicators that I use, period, on my chart. So what I do is I mark out my daily highs and lows. I mark out Asia session, London session, highs and lows, right? As a reference point of where price may go when the session open, right? And so what I'm looking at, right? What I'm looking at is the market above or below the 200 simple moving average. I use it as a reference point. I also look at if the market is above or below the 20 simple moving average. Again, a reference point. So it's kind of tricky, but this is what I do. I wait for the first 2-minute candle to form, right? Above or below my moving averages. So what I do is I wait for the first 2-minute candle to form. And I look at, are we below or above the moving averages that I just stated, right? And I'm looking at it as it formed, the first 2-minute candle, all right? And also I look at, are we close to a key level, whether or not it's going to be close to the London highs, London lows, Asia highs, Asia lows, the daily high, daily low. So that I keep that in mind as I have my chart marked out with these key levels. So after the first 2-minute candle forms, I'll wait for the next 2-minute candle to either break the high or break the low of the previous 2-minute candle. And if that happens, textbook, right? If that happens, I enter the trade. I execute the trade instantly, right? And I put my stop loss below the previous 2-minute candle. So in actuality, if the market opens at 8:30, I wait for the first 2-minute candle to form to go in its direction. If the next 2-minute candle go above or below that first 2-minute candle, now it all depends on where it's at on the chart, whether or not it's close to the 200 or the 20 simple moving average. I enter the candle, the next candle, once it break above the previous 2-minute candle. Now, sometimes you might have to wait for the next candle. Maybe the second 2-minute candle may be more of a consolidation type candle. Then you wait for the next candle, whatever candle that breaks above or below the start of the New York session 2-minute candle, I enter the trade. My stop loss goes below the first 2-minute candle of the New York session. And then I set my stop loss, set my take profit at least 3 to 5 candles or to a key level, whether or not it's going to be Asia highs, London highs, or Asia lows, or London lows, or the daily high or daily low. Or I just go 3 to 5 bars. And once I do that, and sometimes I look at the RSI to see if it's oversold or overbought, stuff like that, to make my decision on whether or not I'm ready to take profits. And basically that's it. So I don't want to be greedy. I just want to get a small piece of the pie as I copy trade multiple accounts during that New York session open. So I don't want to be greedy. And so all I'm looking for is 3 to 5 candles, or maybe it's going to a key level. And ever since I started this, right, I've been very satisfied with my win rate. Now, it's not at 100% win rate, obviously, right? Because sometimes you do take losses because nothing is 100%, right? But my overall win rate by doing this method has gotten me up to close to 70% win rate using this method, right? That is crazy because my original strategy that I use every day, which is the 9 a.m. Central Time candle, right? We usually call it the reversal candle after the 8 o'clock candle Central Time, was about 50 to 55%. So my win rate went up actually when I started trading the open versus the 9 a.m. Central Time candle, which is weird, right? Because my whole strategy as a day trader revolved around the 9 a.m. Central Time candle. And so for me to have a higher win rate on the open versus the 9 a.m. candle says a whole lot. The way the opening trade works for me, it requires a system of execution, right? Taking psychology out of the whole thing, right? It's taking psychology out of the picture. It's all about pure execution. As soon as you see a break to the high or the low of the first 2-minute candle, you execute, pure execution, right? If your open candle is right at the 20 or right at the 200, you enter the trade, right? And you follow the 20 simple moving average as a guide, also with the 9 EMA as a guide. So I use two guides in my trading session. I use the 9 EMA to kind of give me a guide of trend, and I use the 20 simple moving average as a guide of trend, and it works tremendously, right? And so what I'm looking for is 3 to 5 candles are going to a key level, and boom, I'm out of the trade. Basically, that's it. It's pure execution. Psychology is no more. And since I've been doing that, I've been averaging about close to 70% win rate using this method, which is higher than my 9 a.m. Central Time candle that I use, that I've been trading for a very long time. So I can live with that. Listen, here's the thing about losses. You want your losses small. You want your wins big. If you think about it, I'm using the Oliver Velez method, right? I'm only losing one candle versus getting 3 to 5 candles. So if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose one candle. If I win, I'm going to win 3 to 5 candles. So my losses is small and my wins are big, and I can live with that. So I felt like in order for me to get to the next level of my trading career, I have to master the open. Listen, if I want to go to that professional level of my trading career, I have to master the open. That's for me. I'm sitting at the chart every morning at 8 a.m. I'm looking at price moving 100 points, 150 points, 200 points. And I'm sitting up there looking at it. I'm not entering no trades. I'm marking out the orb, right? And I'm not executing no trades. I'm not doing anything because my strategy was the 9 a.m. Central Time candle. And I thought to myself, I'm looking at price go 150, 200 points, sometimes 250 points. And I'm not even getting in none of this. And I'm looking at the candles and price move, and I don't enter into any trades. So I knew I had to make a change. I knew I had to do something to master the open, right? Listen, I only want to be in the market 90 minutes. If you watch our live streams, when we get to 10 a.m. Central Time, when we close out our streams, we are off the charts. We turn off the computer. We go about our day. So we on the charts basically 90 minutes a day. And that's how we want to trade. We don't want to trade all day. We don't want to scalp trade all day. We want to be in the trade, get in the trade, execute our trades, get in, get out. We are done. When we see the play happen, we don't think, we just execute. We don't think, we execute. Put our stop loss underneath, put our take profit at 3 to 5 bars or to a key level. That's it. Sit back and let it run. And then once we let it run, we move our stop loss into profit. And once we move our stop loss into profit, we trail our stop loss into profit as it goes up. And if we get tapped out, we're done for the day, right? If it keeps going up, we continue to trail our stop loss until we get tapped out, or we get to a key level and we manually tap out. So that's how we trade. We get a piece of the pie. We copy trade across multiple accounts. We feel good, happy, and we get off the chart and we go by our day. All right, this is Eric. Hopefully, we'll see you guys on our live stream. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.